tired of funds taking overnight to clear, or your bank not operating when you need it to? How about excessive charges for sending funds both across the country or around the world? Well, let's talk about Digibyte, a digital currency used every day worldwide, but without the hassles. With Digibyte, you can spend, send, and receive funds instantly from all over the world. Digibyte is a blockchain technology project, like Bitcoin, but 40 times faster and with other major improvements. When you use Digibyte, you can forget about huge monthly account fees or other surprising charges. And best of all, transactions cost under 1/10 of a cent. Yes, you heard that right. Not only is Digibyte the most secure payment system that you will ever use, but it is also the simplest. It is as easy as sending a text message. With Digibyte, you are your own bank, except you can't ever have your funds frozen, and no corporation or entity controls Digibyte. There isn't any central bank, authority, or government able to print more Digibytes. There is no single point of failure, and it is powered by the most decentralized community and also by its cutting-edge blockchain technology. With Digibyte, we bring convenience, speed, and self-sovereignty to your money. Digibyte. Faster, more secure, forward-thinking.
Okay, so welcome back. It's 8:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So this is just a little bit of added info for Digibyte. I'm going to be getting into this more and more as the days go on, as it's in the Internet of Things. And you're going to see why I love this so much and why I'm such a big fan of this project. So real quick, the limited possibilities. Digi assets can be used to securely represent anything we find in the physical world, from tangible assets such as real estate or cars through to scarce digital pieces of art. Signed documents such as deeds and medical bills can be protected. And then solid technology. Digi assets leverages unique aspects of a truly decentralized blockchain only found within a permissionless blockchain like Digibyte. This allows Digi assets to be more secure, scalable, and decentralized than any other platform in the market, and then growing confidently. Digi assets as an ecosystem and platform already has interested parties either planning on or currently building platforms in real estate, finance, remittance, identity, point of sale, racing, trade, healthcare, supply chain, government, and more. So in our next update with Digibyte, we're going to get started with Digi assets. We're going to learn the protocol. Then we're going to issue an asset, store and trade, and I'm going to show you how to do all of this. You can do it through Digimobile. We're going to do this one step at a time. So welcome back. Sorry, my voice is a little shot from Halloween yesterday, which you can imagine. So we're going to go over the cryptosphere. We're going to go over the DXY, how it's down 0.73% to 110 spot 763. And we're looking a little bearish here this morning. We look like we're going to come back down to support at about 110 spot 50, 493. So be aware of that, which means crypto could have a slight move up right now. We're also waiting on the meeting, the Fed meeting. The Dow Jones looks like it's going to be picking up a little steam. I got an article to read that I think it'll keep everybody on the same track as the Dow is in pre-market for the next 54 minutes. We've got the U.S. 10-year down 12 basis points before this meeting, down 2.96%. We've got crude oil up 2.37%, which means, you guessed it, PBR is up just a tiny bit this morning, about 29 cents to 13.11. Gold's up $21 this morning, or 1.30% to 1653.70, which means your mining stocks will all be up this morning. You've got Barrick Gold up 2.26% to 1537. You got Kinross up 2.75% to 373. I'm assuming, even though it doesn't say for B2 Gold, you're up about 2.1% to about 316, if I had to guess. And then, or maybe 2.4%. Platinum's up 26.50 to 2.87% this morning to 951 spot 50. Silver's had a huge move this morning, up 4.5%, or almost up to 19.96, about to break that 20 handle, which means Fortuna Silver Mines is probably up a good 3 to 5%. Right now, it's probably sitting at about 314 this morning, or 302. Hell, it could be at about 295. So we'll have to wait to see. But all assets that are on the precious metal side right now are pumping ahead of the meeting. You got copper up 3.25%, or just under 11 cents, or now at 3.487 per pound. You got the total crypto market cap up about 0.58% to 977 trillion. USDT remains on par with the US dollar. It's just barely off sync. 30-minute time frame. This is breaking the 20-day crypto market cap, so it looks like it could be coming down just a little bit in the immediate short term, but it's already held the 200 days, so we could very well come up to that 1.109 trillion, which has been my target, or 1.021. We've got Bitcoin at this current time. Bitcoin is up 64 bucks, 64.46, or 0.31% to 20,557. Bitcoin's just, it's held that 20,116, but hasn't been able to break the 20,955, and it's on that 20,413 support level, which it came through yesterday, but it came right back up. And now if we look in the 4-hour time frame, this is where, you know, it can make it some interesting, but we're getting rejected on the 4-hourly. So unless this is going to play out like a proper bull flag and finally come up like it's supposed to that 22,500 level, we could have a bigger retrace. But this looks like a bull flag, and it looks like I've been saying, like yesterday even, so they could be lining up with the rate hikes, maybe to be less than stellar. But even when you look at this coming around, that's a bullish handle. Even if you come from over here, that's a bullish cup and handle trying to work its way up to the final cup. So unless we break 20,413 and then make our way down past 19,600, this pattern is still very bullish. And just to emphasize that, you can technically come from these wicks and you can say, okay, the retracement's going to be about $19,500 area. So we'll certainly watch this and see how this transpires throughout the day. But I'm certainly interested to see if we get some kind of uptrending hold, or you can also see we could do something like this and be like, okay, well, we're on a parabolic spike. Let's see if we continue up that way. That's the two ways this pattern is going to go. We're either going to hold this 20,300 level, or we've got to drop about 900 points right after that. So that's Bitcoin. Trying to flow into this morning. DGB, as you've seen in the update, DGB still railing, and it hasn't completely folded yet. But the big problem with DGB is we remain under that key 20-day resistance. So eventually, if this keeps happening, it's going to have to come back down to that 8.7 support, and it's just the way it is. We'll put this uptrend for everybody just so you can see the possibilities. We can even start here. We can say, okay, the true uptrend would come down to there, but we have more of a parabolic uptrend, which this is what I personally like to do. A lot of people are like, oh, fuck this. Stupid. Oh, stupido. So that's what I'm looking at. So DGB's on the bottom side of it right now. It's such an easy way to interpret the market, but yet very little people will do it. So that's what I'm looking at right there. And if DGB just gets back over this, then I think we can still move up. But right now, it's critical right now. It's all about what's going to happen at this FOMC meeting. As some things could be preparing to pump now if we only get a 75 basis point rate hike, because the whole market is kind of tailor-making it. So this shows exactly what I was showing on my other chart. This 900 resistance is very key. We failed to break over the 917 and hold it. So now if we fail this, we would come back down to about the 838. So it's very urgent this morning with DGB. And now let's look at XRP. XRP sits at 0.46101, down 0.80%. And if we look at our perpetual futures chart, first off, we got rejected trying to come back within the uptrending support, which is that ascending triangle. This was when we broke down right here. So I'm only going to keep this because if we break up, we could technically wick up to like 47.82 and still get rejected. But what we're looking for is a break back up. We have what could be constituted as a Gartley reversal. So it's going to be really interesting this morning. This could be getting ready to pump a little bit here. If this plays out true. If it plays out true, we could start pumping. If it gets rejected here and this volume stays trash, well, we have a problem then. For a 4-hour time period on XRP, we had 1.513 million. That is not going to get it done. We used to get that on the million per million when we were running back last year in the minutes. So that's what we're looking at with XRP. It's still getting rejected up here, but if we can pass this and make a reversal here and get back up within the ascending triangle, we do have a chance this morning because that is technically on a weird bull flag, on a weird bullish Gartley, in my opinion. So unless it breaks down 44.93 and ultimately 44.66, this pattern can try to get a little bullish. We do have this weird I'm topping reversal that could ultimately play out with the rejection at 46.89 like we've gotten. So that's what we have to watch today. We really do. We're in a weird spot with XRP because we're waiting on this meeting. And if you look at this chart, this is the grand chart. This actually shows how we're just slightly over this and can actually attempt a breakout to get back up. And that would get us back into the perpetual futures chart, back into that pattern support. And then, which other one do I want to look at? XLM real quick. XLM. And yes, we're all over the place this morning, but that's how I like to do it. I like to give you information, not just blockchain, the pricing. I like to give information in every single update. I'd appreciate it if you hit that motherfucking like button. We don't get very many likes, but that's okay. I'm going to continue to grind, and hopefully one day you'll hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Haven't missed a day in over 19 months straight, so I'd appreciate the support. If you look at XLM, we've had 6 hits since October 2nd. Make that 7. We've had 7 hits since October 7th where this pattern has not broken. So now the logical thing is if this doesn't bust now, if we don't break down and we continue to hold the support, at some point you're going to have some kind of a breakout. It's just if you do break down from this 109, then you've got 10811, and then I have no doubt you're likely coming to 9907 because you've hit this 7 times. If you break this on an 8-time down, it's likely going to crack. Now, if you hold it, this bear flag would play off, and then you've got a nice pump coming. But that remains to be seen, as this pattern looks awful. This looks awful right now. We just need some volume to get out of here, but we have no volume. And I want to leave you with this. Stock futures rise as traders try to add to October's strong gains. Look to Fed meeting. So I'm not gonna read it. I'm actually gonna play the video because I'm sick of reading. But then I'll show you at the end how you can trade XRP, IOTA, and any other ISO coin you want. And I'll give you a couple different options. But right now I'll show you my current strategy.
Wall Street is pointed toward the higher open this morning. Stocks closing out October on a down note. The Dow snapping a 6-day winning streak while the S&P and NASDAQ were lower for the 3rd time in the past 4 days. Still, the Dow gaining 14% last month, its best performance since 1976. The S&P was up 8%, while the NASDAQ gained nearly 4%. Oil prices are higher, reversing some of yesterday's losses. The weaker U.S. dollar is helping to offset concerns about COVID restrictions in China. Markets in Asia starting out November in the positive column, led by a 5% gain in Hong Kong. Europe is also higher across the board. In focus today, the ISM Manufacturing Index, construction spending, and the job openings and labor turnover survey. The Fed begins a 2-day meeting with the decision due tomorrow afternoon. Look for earnings from Eli Lilly, Pfizer, Uber, AMD, and Airbnb. With your CNBC Morning Report, I'm Silvana Henao.